Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's weekly musings is manifesting in the real world. I'm doing a series of weekly musings using posts on my blog as inspiration. Now, I did do a video on real world manifesting based on a post I had done, but this is another one I had written a couple weeks later. I don't read these before I record, so I'm curious to see what's different about this post versus the one I recorded a couple of weeks ago. At the end, I will summarize the topic based on all what's going on in the world today. And also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Manifesting in the real world. The other day, I had a chat with someone who does similar work, and we both had the same question for each other. How do you integrate your inner and outer realities? We'd been through different journeys since we first met, but had similar derailments when real life situations occurred and took the focus away from higher consciousness work. For me, my mother's Alzheimer's and cancer took me off my main career path, but I held my higher focus that I was midwifing her back to spirit through the roller coaster ride of the end of her life. It's hard to be out in the world, such as in the workplace or in other real life situations like hospitals, doctors, and caregiving groups, and maintain a multidimensional perspective. How do you deal with coworkers or family members from the perspective of consciousness? How do you approach issues, challenges, conflicts as your expanded self? It may require slowing down and not reacting from habitual patterns, making different choices, responding differently, neutrally, to situations that come up. The other stumbling block we encounter is our own techniques. You aren't at the same level you were when you first connected with the healing guides or learned certain transformational techniques. These relationships and energy techniques need upgrading. Sometimes it's a matter of communicating with your guides and bringing your agreement into present time with them. Sometimes it requires a change of personnel. Upgrading your meditation practice and techniques may be disorienting, like going from a typewriter to a computer. You may not be used to such instantaneous results. Or it may be renewing your acquaintance with your guides and resuming your practice. Your spiritual muscles may have gotten flabby. I have experienced profound, miraculous transformation when I take the time to consistently focus on energy work. The tools in my spiritual toolkit work when I work them for myself and my creations. They don't work when I'm scattered or paying attention outside of my own space. This week, take some time to dust off your toolkit and upgrade your invisible helpers and see what happens. And let me know in the comments below when you do, because I love to read your comments. Okay, so this is completely different than what I wrote about before and filmed a couple weeks ago. There are some really pertinent reminders in here for myself, because I will have to say, those of you who are watching this that do have spiritual practice, that have been seeing the world or your life and navigating your life as higher consciousness, I'm guessing that, like me, you've hit some roadblocks and the overwhelming density of the world is really slowing you down. I'm finding it really kind of a slog. I'm also care managing 5 different family members, 2 of them long distance, who don't have the same spiritual awareness that I do. I wrote this back a couple years after my mother had died from Alzheimer's and cancer, and that was a great derailment. But I also wrote this about 3 years before my little brother had a stroke, which derailed me to going to New York to take care of him initially. And then his wife got very serious breast cancer, almost died. And that extended my time. So I was in New York for about 6 years. And now I'm here with a whole new scenario of taking care of family members. The challenging thing about that is that each of them have their own road trip through life that's between them and their higher selves. I can't change, fix, or manipulate anything in the outside hologram. So I can just be focused on what my intention is, what my vision is. And that's my husband and I moving to Spain in January, because I've got 2 grandchildren there, one of whom I haven't seen yet, who's 9 months old. I have intentions of going to be abuela there. This sentence, my tools in my spiritual toolkit, does not work when I'm scattered or paying attention outside of my own space. And there's so much that has been drawing me outside of my own space. I'm really curious to see what happens in the next week or so if I focus solely on myself and on changing the energy from within myself, because I have found when I do that, there's a ripple effect that changes things outside myself. And another favorite technique of mine is parallel universes. That is where if I'm taking a walk, I just imagine that I am stepping through these opening and closing doors of parallel universes, and that each successive one that I step through is moving me into a universe that is unfolding in my favor. And I can actually energetically feel it as I'm walking. So you're not trying to make these other people come around to your viewpoint. You are stepping into a parallel universe where the universe is acting in your favor, and you can actually see reality rearranging in your favor. So that is a form of manifesting in the real world as well, bringing your higher awareness into the real world. So if you try that and you notice some changes, also let me know in the comments below, because I love to read your comments. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And please click the thumbs up button, the heart button. Please like, share, subscribe, and all of those things will help tell the algorithm to get this out far and wide and to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you'd like to have a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the Skybox technique. It'll give you a drone's eye perspective of what's going on in your life and in the world. And if you'd like to learn how to do this for yourself, click on the link below to my self-study course. It'll give you tools and techniques so that you can navigate your life as consciousness. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com, and there you can learn about my individual sessions and also my coaching program. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you next week in another Weekly Musings.